Our first Ignatian Network speaker is London Walker from Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland, California. Let's hear it for London.
Good evening. Oh, you can do better than that. Good evening. As you heard, my name is London Walker. I'm a senior at Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland, California. And this is Code, Courage, and the work that's ours to do. If I close my eyes and I think back, I see a classroom that smelled like dry erase markers and hot Chromebooks. The Berkeley Coding Summer Program's banner was taped a little crooked over the whiteboard, and a bucket of Tangled chargers sat in the corner. I remember walking, finding a chair near the back, opening my editor, and waiting for the first line of code to distract me from the uncomfortable stares. I also remember scanning the room and realizing that I was the only Black girl there. Now, it wasn't anything that anyone said out loud. It was in the posters that didn't quite look like me, the examples that didn't sound like my life, and the jokes that landed everywhere but here. But I couldn't help but love what we were building. Logic that made sense, patterns that felt like music to me, but little by little, it felt like I was learning a language that didn't expect me to speak back. So instead of forcing myself into the room, I began to drift. I found other spaces. I learned to love debate and policy and the shape of a good argument. But even as I moved into my love for the law, something in me stayed with code. The way that technology sneaks into everything that we care about. Our safety, our stories, our futures. I didn't know the word for it yet, but I do now. Cybersecurity. Now, you might be sitting wondering why this topic could possibly be so important, but I'm here to tell you that cybersecurity isn't just about not clicking that sketchy link. But it turned out that the same questions I asked about fairness in the courtroom mattered online too. Who gets protected? Who gets targeted? Who gets a second chance? And who never gets one? Cybersecurity became the connection between what I loved in technology and what I loved in law. And so I started to notice the headlines that I had scrolled past. Hospitals being frozen by ransomware, girls being doxxed for speaking up, deepfakes being made to silence activists, data being scraped and sold without consent. It wasn't theoretical anymore. It was teenagers, it was me, it was us. But it wasn't just danger, it was access. There weren't enough seats for Black girls at the tables where the rules got written. Not enough mentors who looked like us. Not enough classrooms where we were expected to be the ones who fixed it, not just the ones being kept safe by it. So, I did what I could from where I was. I pressed record and I taught what I knew. I kept studying and I asked better questions. And eventually, I took on a risk that felt bigger than myself. I published a children's book about cybersecurity with a team of people that believe kids deserve the power to learn early. Now, the book was simple on purpose, so that an 8-year-old and their parent could read the book and name the world before the world named them. But it was more than that, because the children in the book had faces of Black children. Because that 8-year-old who's sitting with their parent shouldn't question whether they can enter into the field of cybersecurity just because the book that they're reading doesn't show anyone who looks like them. We showed them Black schools, Black programs, Black educators, and Black legends, all who thrived in the world of safety online. Government officials who protect us against terrorism, billion-dollar cyber analysts, and 1,000 more positions that these children now have access to. So then, in 2024, the Biden-Harris administration reached out. I was invited to speak about cybersecurity and African Americans and why representation matters in who builds the tools and who's protected by them. Now, I'll admit, I walked past security absolutely terrified, holding on to my notes, and I sat down across from the National Cyber Director of the United States. The seal on the wall felt as heavy as the weight was on my shoulder, but we talked about threats and training and why safety can't just mean filters, why it has to include literacy and mentorship and budgets and belief, why it has to include us. Now, this is where the Ignatian theme meets our story, pressing on. We press on past the thin version of diversity that counts faces without changing systems. We press on when the room feels too cold and the chair feels too big. We press on when the stories told about us don't match the ones that we're living. So what is ours to do? If you're a student, take one step closer. Learn the terms, ask the questions, pair your passion, whether arts or sports or ministry or journalism, with tech literacy. The future isn't tech or justice, it's both or it's neither. If you're an educator or a parent, make room. Bring in speakers who look like the children that sit in your seats. Fund the club. Protect the hour after school where curiosity turns into skill. Don't just warn, but teach. If you're in policy or IT at your school or your parish, build your guardrails with your students, not just for them. Center the kids who are the most at risk in the choices that you make about platforms, data, and training. Safety without dignity isn't safety. And for all of us in this Ignatian family, remember that pressing on is a communal verb. We are pilgrims, not solo travelers. We move because others have moved with us. So when I think back to that first classroom, the crooked banner, the tangle of the chargers, I don't just remember the doubt. I remember the feeling when the code finally ran, when the error turned into output, and when the problem on the screen taught me something true about the world. You can't debug what you won't name. You can't secure what you won't learn. And you can't change what you won't face. So we face it. We learn it. We change it. And I'm a member of this Ignatian family, pressing on not just for myself alone, but for all the kids who will come after, the ones who will read their first ABC and learn about a world of safety and security and ask better questions than I ever could, the ones who will write the code that keep our communities safe. We press on with intention and active hope. We press on with courage and companions. And we press on until every classroom expects us and every system protects us. Your knowledge, our knowledge, isn't just power. It's protection. It's possibility. And it's the light that we carry together. Let's press on. Thank you.